People that don't contribute, it's so weird. Like when I worked at Conoco, there was this lady who just never did any work, and everybody wondered, you know, how she always had stuff done. We had a 6-month training program, and she would always have stuff done, but yeah, she didn't really seem to understand anything. I was sick one time, and after I came back, a whole bunch of them said, "We caught her going through your desk. She was stealing your stuff." And I was like, I can't do anything about that. You know, what can you do about something like that other than just wait? And yes, that person eventually was let go because it became obvious that they weren't being able to hold their weight. And so things like that work out in the end. I want to start with chapter 3, the general software development. That's where we left off last time. Notice it's a short section. So I'd like to, if we can, get through chapter 3 and 4. But if we start running into your time too much, we'll stop. I just don't want to leave too much for Monday. So Monday we'll have our last look at the last couple of chapters that we're missing, and hopefully a whole bunch of time for you to work on your final, or get out of here if you're all done. And then you will probably be done with it. So general software development. This is our CIS120 stuff about designing applications and coding and testing. The thing is, Microsoft gets really, really specific about application lifecycle management. And Microsoft's specifics about application lifecycle management can be just a little bit different than what you saw in your 120 book. So before we look at this section, let's search and see if there's some study material. And I probably have some linked in that list of all of the different study stuff. But let's look at Microsoft application development lifecycle. Got all sorts of security stuff. There it is. I had to go a little bit further. There's Gartner. I don't know if they changed it. All sorts of security. I'm going to take the word application now. This is not what I want. I apologize. Last time I looked, it just popped right up. You know, Microsoft always coming up with new things. So I will find it for you, and let's read what they have. What we're going to see, though, is that Microsoft can be a little bit more specific about these different stages of the life cycle than our 120 book, and we have to be really specific and match them. So I'll start with this one. Nupur has been named project manager of a new reservation system for Blue Yonder Airlines. She will lead a team of developers tasked with all phases of the application lifecycle. Nupur and her team met with managers from each branch of the company and discussed the company's needs and the basic features that everyone requires. The application will be web-based and will allow Blue Yonder's customers to search flights, book reservations, and check in online. After the meeting, Nupur and her developers began outlining the program from their perspective. Although they haven't begun coding, the developers are beginning to sketch out the classes and objects of the projects using UML. Their outline is not complete, but a plan for accomplishing the required tasks is coming together. Nupur wants to divide the job in such a way that team members can work on different parts of the program at the same time. Her meeting with the company's managers is part of which stage of the application lifecycle? What do you think? Design, development, or planning? They're very, very similar. C? That would be a good guess. What else would be a good guess? A? A. A or C, right? It's not development. We know that at least. At least that's one that we can eliminate. But what does Microsoft want? I'm going to sneak ahead and look. They say planning. So planning, also called envisioning, includes gathering the client's needs and requirements. So I'll find that document for you because it's very important. Now, the use of UML in this scenario, is it a waste of time? Does it help make sure that different components will work together, or help make sure that the clients understand how the team will create the software? What do you think? B? So he's got it. So you're saying it's B. Why is it not C? Do clients look at UML? No. So number 3 is the team writes code. Napur will ask each team to test their classes independently. What is this strategy called? I heard it. Unit testing. Does everybody agree? Why is it not integration testing? What would that be? Right, that would be when a couple of the developers put their code together to see if it works properly together. And then load testing, what would that be? Exactly, trying to simulate thousands of users or whatever we could do to try to simulate a heavy load on the system to determine how it responds. Now they say down here, there's a hint. Duh, developers may use different names for the stages or phases of managing the application life cycle, but the basic process is the same. We know that, MTA people. We just want to know the exact words you want us to use. There they are. The phases of the application development life cycle. These are the phases that matter for your certification exam. Planning, designing, developing, testing, and maintenance. So that first step, since we were meeting with users, we were just planning. When we're doing UML and different kinds of documents like that, then we're designing. So think about the difference between planning and designing as far as Microsoft is concerned. Okay, let's see, then I get to pick. Who shall I pick? Who's got the Zoom session going? I don't want to make it be somebody who doesn't. You have it going? Do you? Go ahead and read that one for us, would you?
Ari has just completed an internship with Conso Pharmaceuticals, working with the developers on software used by the company's employees. The supervisor is very impressed and has offered Ari a job on the development team for Conso's next generation application. The company has decided to start from scratch, allowing the new team to develop the application while employees continue to use the old system. The company currently produces more than 1,000 products and plans to expand. The new application will track all of the company's inventory as well as some basic shipping and receiving details. Employees should be able to search through the company's product catalog and view product details such as product design and product image, in-stock quantity, and cost. What type of application will be a good fit for these requirements?
So console application then? No? I heard it back there.
Yeah, see.
See? All right.
Many of the company's computers are old with limited RAM and hard drive space, but are all connected to the company's intranet. How can RE ensure that the new version will work on all systems?
Web application sounds good.
RE supervisor has asked him to prepare a non-functioning demonstration of what the new application will look like so that department managers understand what is being developed and how they will interface with the application. This is called
Yeah, what do you think? A mock-up would be the best. Definitely. Very good. As you see with this section, the only thing that's going to cause you trouble is where more than one answer is correct and you're not sure which one the Microsoft people want. That's why it's so important to look through all of this. Who should go next? Pick somebody.
Some time ago, Cassie agreed to help her soccer coach Ken keep track of the teams by creating a software program especially for the task. Roster application will make it much easier for the coach to keep track of his players' personal information and some simple statistics. Now that Cassie has completed some initial planning, she needs to decide how to organize all of the data in her program. The application will need to keep track of new players, allowing the user to search through and pull up any individual's data. And of course, the coach will need to print a few reports such as complete roster sort of jersey numbers, phone list arrangement, alphabetically by the player's last name and the team's leaders. Which of the following data structures would be a good choice for organizing the players? I'd say array.
Array. That should be fine, wouldn't you think?
Shouldn't be too much to pick up.
Yeah.
2, which of the following would help Cassie arrange the players in alphabetical order?
Oh, I heard it. That good old bubble sort.
Which data structure does Cassie use if she only wanted to retrieve players using a last in, first out model?
Did you hear it? I heard it. Stack. Is that a stack or a queue?
It's a stack. The wording got me confused.
It is kind of weird. So think of your pictures. Good job. Okay, now looking at web applications. Who should read this first one for us?
Yeah, I'll read that.
Andrew owns a small dance studio and is looking for ways to bring in new customers and improve communications with their existing customers. She's not particularly knowledgeable about web design, but several years ago, one of her dance students offered to create a website for the studio. That student has moved on to the university, so Tanja has relied on a few different volunteers to maintain the site. As a result, the site is disorganized and lacks consistency. The volunteers all use different colors and fonts that resulted in a very non-professional website. Knowing that she can't fix the site herself, she has asked her nephew Maxim to help. Before Maxim creates a page, he wants Tanja to have at least a basic understanding of the technology involved, which technology uses tags to indicate how information should be displayed in the web browser. HTML. And
Yeah, and why would it not be XML?
because XML is used for web.
Right, it's for data, not for displaying stuff. Very good. What about number 2?
which of the following is a key advantage of using CSS? C.
C.
And then what is JavaScript?
C.
C, client side. Very good. Okay, who should read this next section for us?
Maxim has spent quite a bit of time talking with his aunt, Tanja, about a new website for her dance studio. He's beginning to get ideas on how to update and improve the site. Tanja's old site is pretty basic, and Maxim believes he can add a lot of exciting features that will appeal to younger, web-savvy customers. One of his first priorities is to make the site a little more interactive with buttons that respond to mouse rollovers and the slideshow to display images of the studio. He also wants to implement online shopping for games apparel. That update would include a wish list feature for users to save items they're interested in purchasing at a later time. Maxim's mouse rollover effect can be accomplished with a client-side script. Which of the following is a client-side account?
See, are you noticing a pattern here?
In a standard HTML site, page information is lost each time the user refreshes a page or moves to a different page. Which of the following allows page information to be retained?
What would that be? Does CSS allow page information to be retained? No. Page lifecycle, does that have anything to do with page information being retained? Or is that just how it loses that information? What about state management? Would that have to be the ability to maintain stuff? Kind of process of selection or elimination if you're not sure. So take those things you're more sure about and get rid of them. Okay, what about number 3?
Maxim wants to use cookies to keep track of users' wish lists. What is a cookie?
Just be A, just text data stored. Uh-huh.
What's the difference between a cookie and a cache?
Well, a cache is something that was copied to your machine for quick access, whereas a cookie is something that is created on your machine with the intent and purpose of remaining there with information that website can check again when you open it again. So a cookie is something that's retained, whereas cache is just like your temporary internet file. So cache files could be retained, but it's just accidental. Does that make sense? Does that sound right? Those of you that are more web people.
Cache is generally, the way I've always thought of cache is kind of like a runtime thing.
Yeah.
Like when you run your C# program, you get runtime data that it stays. And it's kind of like that. And cookies are just kind of like what happened. Cache is just like any runtime data.
Yeah. Cookies are kind of like your database stuff. Stay there forever. Okay, who goes next?
Maxim doesn't have a lot of experience creating Windows applications. Most of his experience in traditional Windows applications. He knows that a website is hosted on the server, but never worked with the server before. Plus, his aunt doesn't have a lot of money for this project, so he has to cost them minimum for the site links and why is an ISP probably a good choice for Maxim?
What do you think? What is ISP?
Internet service provider.
So do ISPs be free? No. Do they give you Windows Server? No. Do they give you tech support and maintenance? You're just going to have to go with that one, even if the answer is no. I don't know about Springfield, whether you got much tech support from them or not. It doesn't sound like it. Yeah, but that's what it's supposed to be. That's supposed to be the right answer. What about number 2?
Employee reputable eyes on tells Maxim that they use Windows Server and creates the basic internet information service, which is not following. Which of the following is not the role of IIS?
This is a weird one. So if I had IIS, if I was running Internet Information Services, would I still be able to send HTML documents to the client? Yes. Would me running IIS enable ASP.NET stuff to work, or were we able to do that on our client machines without IIS because we didn't have servers? Or C? So which of those would not be something that IIS does? It's kind of a weird question if you don't know. So let's skip it and go on to the next one.
The ISP tells Max that they support virtual directories. What is virtual directory?
Now again, look through those answers and find the most reasonable one, because I know you don't know about IIS. So what would be the most reasonable answer? Have you ever heard of somebody having a folder on their computer mapped to their internet service provider? No, that's not a thing. And then C, whenever you create a website, are you concerned, do you run a listing service that allows users to find your website? No, you just take advantage of the ones that are already out there, right? So process of elimination, it would have to be B. Some of those about IIS, you're gonna just have to do that. You're just gonna have to try to do a process of elimination and make your best guess, and that's okay, because it's a very small part of your certification. But let's take a look at it. So the answer to number 2 is B, and this is really a confusing one. IIS is a web server. It doesn't have anything to do with what server-side software you can run on that web server. It just makes it a web server. So I would still need Visual Studio or whatever to do my ASP.NET stuff. Just having IIS wouldn't make me be able to do that. Does that make sense? IIS is just a web server. It doesn't give me ASP.NET. Visual Studio gives me ASP.NET. Okay, who's next? Our last one here. Pick someone for us, Clint. Yeah, he loves you.
Maxim has worked hard to publish an exciting professional site for Kansas and Studio. It's been available for more than a month now, and customers have given fans great feedback. They love all the interactive media and the simple consistency of the overall design. Best of all, the new site has increased Candace's income by attracting new students and by allowing customers to purchase items from home. With the extra money, she wants to pay Maxim to put a little more into the site. No major changes, just some catchy additions. She'd like her home page to display the current weather and traffic conditions, and she thinks that link search box will help users find information quickly. Although Maxim has never programmed this type of functionality before, he knows he can use web services to help. In this context, what is a web service?
What do you think? Everybody want C? You want C? Okay, what about number 2?
When using the big API to add search capabilities to a site, what is the web service role of
Be a provider, providing a service. What about number 3?
Which of the following is a framework commonly used to access a web service?
Which one did you guys use with the application you just showed us today? SOAP. Don't forget, do your acronym list with new acronyms that you've learned in the last 3 weeks. Let's look at the answers here and make sure you were right about number 1. I'm concerned about that one. It liked it. Said that's the right answer. So good job. Okay, we'll put these ones off until Monday. Sorry it took us so long today, but I liked looking at your application. So we're in lab time. Let me know if you have any questions about your Jeopardy application. And get you all fixed.
So it's using 24 buttons, is that idea?
24 buttons.
I don't know why it's 24. There's a number over it.
That's okay. It's an okay thing to do. The best thing to do would be to use like an array of buttons, right?
Yeah, but it's always going to be the same amount.
Yeah, that's true with Jeopardy. So it's not really something that you have to change.
Oh, okay. Oh, I
We have class Monday, and then our final is what day? Let me double check. I think it's Wednesday. Wednesday? No, Friday. No, just Monday. So Monday's the last day of classes. It's really confusing. But I know, it's very confusing. It's something to do with us missing that Monday, the very beginning of the semester, because we started, or Labor Day or something at the very beginning of the semester, we missed Monday. But I have the hardest time with remembering we have that one last day of class. Yeah. Actually, just save it. I have it. Yeah, that's what I want. And you printed your certificate? Yeah, you printed already. You've already got that. Great.
Yeah. The only thing I know from Jeopardy is why I that's all it is.
It's locked right there. So like they choose
Some
random.
of those answers I'm not worried about.
Where there's
So at the beginning, all
okay, so I finally got the TFS score.
Nice. So did it take that long for it to download, or do you think it was something else?
It's locked till the